What's up, you guys? Welcome back into iHeartRadio's official wrestling podcast. This is the Battleground Podcast. Thanks for checking us out, whether you're listening to us wherever you listen to podcasts or if you're watching this on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends about what is happening. And, well, speaking of what is happening, April 20th, live on pay-per-view, we've got TNA's Rebellion, and we have a newcomer to the show who his foe has been on the show quite a few times, but we will forget about that person. Today, we're all about Alex Hammerstone joining the show. Alex, thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me, guys. I'm happy to be here.
You are the guy that we have tried numerous times to get on the show, and finally it has happened, so all is right in the world. Alex, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. Nice day here in Arizona.
Nice. But then again, if we did complain, nobody would listen, so it wouldn't really matter, right? So let's kind of just jump right into it. How does it feel to be a signed performer to the rebranded TNA Wrestling?
It's great, especially coming off the free agency time. It was a little scary, because obviously I entered free agency by choice because I had a lot of faith in myself that I had enough value in the professional wrestling world that I would end up somewhere worth being. Luckily I did. But that being said, to work over a decade of your life to finally get to a point where you are making enough money in wrestling to pay all your bills, and then to decide to walk away from that on a gamble that's something better is going to come along. It was scary. It was a little bit nerve-wracking. So that period of free agency, as exciting as it was, I was really hoping the right opportunity came along and presented itself. And when I debuted at Hard to Kill, and then me and TNA got in talks, everything just lined up and everything was just perfect. It was everything I wanted, and I'm happy to have a new home in professional wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see you out there, because that was the thing that me and Eli had talked about before, because when we see what's on the internet and we see everything on social media, and we were like, oh, Alex Hammerstone's about to be a free agent. And of course, all the wheels start turning. Is he going to go here? Is he going to go here? And then you pop up in TNA and you go ahead and take that claim of, hey, if I'm going to show up in TNA, I'm going to take the guy out that is the flag bearer, and being that Josh Alexander. Since we're, I guess, diving into your new signing with the new company, kind of walk us through that process of signing on the dotted line with TNA and why they were the winners in the Hammerstone sweepstakes and not another company.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of things involved. Like, at the end of the day, this is a job and we're looking to make a certain amount of money. That being said, when there's, different companies all throwing the same kind of numbers at you, it's like, what TNA did different was they brought me in at Hard to Kill. They put me on pay-per-view. They gave me 20 minutes to go out there and wrestle the way I wanted to wrestle against one of their top guys at one of their top shows of the year. It showed from day one. They were saying, hey, this is the value we put in you. This is the amount we respect you, and what you've done in this business thus far. This is the trust we have in you. And then after that night, just the positive feedback I got, from fans and from different news outlets after that show, not to mention the experience I had in the locker room and working with everybody backstage. It was just great, like top to bottom. It was everything you could hope for. So when we got in talks, I was pretty much already decided. As long as they were offering what I wanted, I already decided this is a place that I want to continue wrestling. So when we were able to get to those terms, it was a pretty it was pretty much a done deal for me.
Yeah. And the match was a banger on top of that. So yeah, hard to beat that. I hate to keep bringing up Josh, but you guys have had some awesome matches already. What do you think makes you guys click so well in the ring? Is it similar styles, different styles, maybe technique versus power? Like, why do you think you guys are clicking so well in the ring?
I think it's just it's really, I think it's beyond styles, because we do both have, you know, a very technical and physical style, but I think it's more an attitude. I think it's like we go in there and it's like we both go in there thinking we are the top guy. Like I am going to beat you. I'm going to out wrestle you. I'm tougher than you. Whatever you do to me, I don't care if it hurts. I'm going to get up and hit you right back, you know? And, you know, I can see that in him every time we wrestle. You know, it's very physical. It's very intense. And I bring that right back. And there's not a lot of guys who have that to that same level. And like whatever level I bring of that, it's like once he starts bringing his, it's like then it becomes a pissing contest. It's like okay, and it just means like that match is just gonna, as it goes, it's gonna get more intense. The more times you wrestle, the more intense it's gonna be. Every single time, it's just like we have to up the stakes, you know. And that's why I feel coming into Rebellion, it's gonna be the best thing we've done thus far.
So it's almost like you guys are pushing each other, kind of inadvertently. Like he takes a step forward, you take a step forward. Like you kind of, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we both have a very high level of pride we take in our craft, you know, and it shows in our work, and we're not going to let anybody, you know, kind of extinguish that.
Yeah,
for sure. So you know, you famously held, and a lot of people know your work. You famously held the MWL National Openweight Championship for 865 days. The MLW, the MLW World Championship for 644 days. Another long championship reign also ended lately. What do these long championship reigns mean for the champion as well as the fans?
I mean, listen, like when it comes to long championship reigns, that's just a reflection of who you have holding the championship. If you have a guy who's going to go in there and become a champion and who's going to face all competitors and be the best guy for a long extended period of time, that's what it is. That being said, there could easily be a champion who holds it for 2 weeks. I don't think that necessarily means, you know, one thing or the other. It's just kind of a reflection of the pool of talent at the time. You know, but there's also something to be said for, you know, the champion who wins the belt and becomes complacent versus the champion who wins the belt and kind of kicks it into overdrive, you know. And there's different types of people. There's people who, you know, get to the top and kind of rest their feet and take their boots off, and there's people who get to the top and go, well, time to fortify this damn fortress. And you know, I'm the type who, if I get to the top, I'm going to fortify the damn fortress, you know. And right now, I'm trying to look and see what the top champions of TNA Wrestling, what kind of champion are they? Are they going to get complacent, or are they fortifying their fortress?
Yeah, and it kind of almost goes back to like maybe the 60s and 70s where you would have someone hold the belt 2 years, 3 years, or something like that. And I think your reign as the open weight champion really kind of, the first one that I can remember was like the modern era where it's like, man, this guy's just going to hold this belt forever, you know, and like really added some prestige to the title and stuff. This is another question I just thought of. How cool is it having an action figure?
I mean, having an action figure is always a dream come true. It's a cool little perk of the wrestling business.
Yeah, not a lot of people, not everyone has one. That's all. Yeah.
I mean, wrestling's weird though, because as much as like there's like certain things you dream of, it's like once you get it, it's always about what's next. And right now, my brain's just on what's next.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you know, this may be a very obvious question, but does Hammerstone intend to go after the TNA World Championship after the rivalry with Josh is wrapped up? Is that the main focus that you in your mind?
I mean, that's my focus in any professional wrestling company, whether it's a local independent promotion or whether it's, you know, the prestigious TNA. It's like, I don't sign a contract because I want to show up, wrestle, and go home. I sign a contract because I want to show up to work and outwork everybody and get to the very top. And the very top is the World Heavyweight Championship. That being said, I'm not ignorant to the fact that I just debuted in January. I just signed in March. I know there's a lot of people who've been here a long time, who've worked very hard to carve out their spots. So if I have to knock them down one at a time, brick by brick by brick on my climb to the top, I'm happy to do that. But yeah, my ultimate goal is to be the world heavyweight champion. My ultimate goal is to become the franchise. My ultimate goal is to become the guy of TNA and take TNA hopefully to a new level. Like that's the mindset I have as a professional wrestler. I think if you don't have that mindset, you should, or you should get out. But that being said, like I said, there's a lot ahead of me in TNA. It's very easy for me to say, hey, I want to go for the World Heavyweight Championship, but whatever work is ahead of me, I'm ready to get to work.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing about social media is I love the fact that you're not one to shy away from people calling you out on social media. As I was going through, I guess we call it X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. But I love the fact that, I guess a Twitter warrior decided to say that you were wasting your time spinning your wheels on the indies. And boy, you let that dude have it. If I will quote Alex Hammerstone's tweet or X or whatever the hell it is, literally signed to a major contract that allows me to do indies because I love wrestling, not to mention getting paid very well. You're wasting your time on the internet. The fact that you could say something like that you're signed to a major company, you could still go and do these indie shows. What does that mean for you? Because, some other companies, you can't really go out and do other stuff outside of that company. But how does that feel that you could still go in, be the big dog in TNA, and still go and, wrestle the Armory somewhere this weekend?
I think that's important because there's a certain level of, yeah, I like doing it. Yeah, I get paid to do it, but also I wanna wrestle very consistently to keep myself sharp. And as I've gotten older, there's a certain part of me that likes doing it because every once in a while, just a week or two ago, I worked somewhere where a guy said, hey, like 6 years ago, I came to your meet and greet and bought your 8x10, and now we're wrestling tonight. I'm so excited. And he just sat there, and the whole time he's asking me questions, and it's like I get to kind of take on this like mentor role where I'm kind of teaching, and then we get to wrestle, and and he walks away from going, hell man, I learned so much out there, and that was great. So it's like there's that aspect to it. It's really cool because it's almost like giving back in a way. But then there's also the aspect of it of there's a lot of matchups that would never happen if they didn't happen on the independents. So, so that's very cool. But like I said, I mostly it comes down to like, man, I want to keep myself sharp. TNA has a very busy schedule. It's almost every other week we're on the road, but that week in between, if I could be wrestling, I want to wrestle because when we come back, it's like, when we come back to Rebellion and I'm wrestling Josh Alexander, when I'm wrestling one of the very best wrestlers in the world, I don't want to go in there dull having 3 weeks off. I want to go in there sharp as can be, ready to go.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Speaking of Rebellion, we'll kind of touch on that real quick. Rebellion coming up live April 20th on pay-per-view. This is quote unquote the rubber match between you and Josh. What do you need to do to kind of break this tie between you guys and kind of go up 2-1 on him?
I came into the first match very concerned with having a good wrestling match, and I wanted to show the world how good I was at professional wrestling. And that's not my job. My job is to go in there and win the match. At Sacrifice, I went in there and won the match. I don't have to be overly concerned with out wrestling Josh Alexander. He's one of the absolute best. But the thing is, why can't I just outpower Josh Alexander? Why can't I just beat up Josh Alexander? That's what I did at Sacrifice, and that worked very well. And that's what I intend on doing at Rebellion, and it's going to work very well again. I want to make a statement this time. I don't want him to be able to come back and say, "Oh, fight me one more time." I want him to tuck his tail between his legs and go, "Hey, thanks for the match, brother. Hope we never do it again."
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
That's a solid game plan. Yeah,
absolutely. So has it ever, like, maybe you go to TNA and say, hey, look, because I know you're a musician. Have you ever thought to go to TNA and be like, hey, guys, I'd like to play myself out to the ring, like just shred a guitar solo and then go in there and whoop some ass?
Well, I wrote my TNA entrance music.
Right, right. Yep. Have you ever thought about like maybe performing that live for TNA?
I would want all the fans to pay an extra $10 to see me perform if I was gonna have to hold my guitar out to the
yeah. There you go.
now, you have to pay the price of admission for the wrestling show, and then you have to pay an extra admission for the Hammerstone concert.
I mean, I'd pay that extra 10, $15
yeah,
to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you got one?
So Rebellion coming up live pay-per-view on the 20th of this month. It's I mean, you look at the card and it's stacked. And you know, having been with TNA for a little while, has there been anyone that has impressed you in the ring that maybe you weren't aware of prior to joining TNA?
I'm not exaggerating when I say the entire roster impresses me. You know, there was just an explosion match that was Mike Bailey, Ace Austin, Kushida, and I said it was literally one of the best explosion matches, or one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life. I sat there just glued to the monitor. You know, guys like
he's ridiculous.
Yeah, you know, guys like, you know, Jake something, you know, constantly impressed me. I will say a kind of like an out of left field one is how impressed I am watching Brian Myers, because in my opinion, he didn't really get that chance, you know, in the past in other wrestling companies to showcase what a wrestler he was and what a great wrestler he was. And you know, like there's probably like I've heard people say like, you know, oh, he's just a guy who's like sticking around to get a paycheck. And it's like you watch what he's doing in TNA and like, no, he is not. Like he goes out there, kills it, and I'm just like, I didn't even know he was that talented. Like, you know, but like that's just to say, like every time I sit down and watch the monitor, it's just like, man, like I'm truly blown away by so many guys there. And like the fact that so many of the people there for me to wrestle would be a first-time matchup is extremely exciting to me.
Yeah, when you mentioned Jake something, I was like, wow, that would be a match right there. Hammerstone and Jake something, man. When we get off here, we'll tell you our Brian Myers story. It's pretty funny. This one's a fun one. Who is your all-time favorite band? And maybe like who are some bands you listen to when you're in the gym? Like who's on your playlist?
Let's see. I would say the Strokes are probably my favorite band. As far as what I listen to in the gym, man, it's all over the place. I'm trying to think of what I've been listening to lately. I Prevail is one I've been listening to. Yeah. They're like just a heavy kind of metal band. But honestly, lately I just listen to these like weird motivational gym mixes that have like soundtracks of like inspirational war music with like bodybuilders screaming in the background and stuff. That's awesome. But yeah, like it could range from like weird dubstep to metal to like freaking hipster white girl indie alternative rock. Like it's all over the place. Anything except country.
Okay. That's
solid
pretty much
play.
my stance. Yeah.
Solid play. Sometimes we like to have a little fun here on the show, and usually we do this at the end, kind of a little to break away from, you know, the normal wrestling questions. Everybody talks about Chat GPT and AI technology and the robots. Well, we have a Chat GPT robot that likes to ask questions. And for some odd reason, this robot always likes to ask wrestlers something that involves a grizzly bear. I don't know why it's always a grizzly bear, but it does. But the Chat GPT robot wants to ask Alex Hammerstone, if you were to wrestle a grizzly bear, would you prefer to wear a luchador mask or a tutu for the match?
A luchador mask, because if you were able to get on its back and spin the mask in a way that blocked its eyesight, that would possibly give you a tactical advantage, where the tutu really provides no added tactical advantage.
Yeah, there it goes.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Alex Hammerstone's already plotting against his Hammerstone versus Grizzly Bear match in the way of Tracy Smothers.
Coming up at Bound for Glory.
Well, Alex,
one-time attraction. Yeah,
it's such an honor to have you on the show. We're looking forward to seeing some TNA gold around your waist, because I will tell you, you can ask anybody in that locker room. They come on this show, they go on to win gold. By the end of this year,
including Josh Alexander.
We
had him on, and then he won the Impact World title.
So I think gold is coming to Josh well, he ain't getting gold anytime soon. I think gold is coming to Alex Hammerstone very, very soon, because he has now put his name on the show, and it's out there in the universe.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.